Know thy enemy.
You like that? You like that?
Welcome back to the Villain Report. I am the villain, Russell Wayne, the UDFA of sports podcasting. No draft hype, no silver spoon, no handshakes from the big networks, just like an undrafted dog climbing and clawing for a roster spot. I wasn't wanted in the game, but I'm still here, grinding, hitting harder, talking louder, and outlasting the so-called pros. I'm the villain, the unwanted, the overlooked, but undeniable. Every show is a fight for respect. Every word is a rep in the trenches. You don't have to like me, but you're gonna feel me. It's Friday, TGIF.
Know thy enemy.
Time for Lions versus Brown. The Villain Report is live as we size up the Week 4 matchup. The Detroit Lions versus the Cleveland Browns, and we're going to break down everything you need to know before Sunday, the strengths and weaknesses of both squads, and can the Lions' O-line handle Cleveland's nasty pass rush? Can the Browns' offense keep up with the Detroit's firepower? And where can Dan Campbell's crew exploit some cracks in the Dawg Pound? This is chess, not checkers, and the Villain Squad. We're going to dive deep into some stats and some storylines. So drop your predictions in the comments. Who takes this one, Honolulu Blue or the Dawg Pound? This episode is brought to you by Fanatics.com. That's right. That's right. If you bleed Honolulu Blue, then you need to gear up like the real one over at Fanatics, our official merch partner. That's right. I'm talking Lions jerseys, blackout hoodies, throwback Tigers gear, WWE gear, Red Wings drip so icy, it should come with a Zamboni. So here's what you do. You go into the comments. You click that link I threw into the description. Save up to 25% off of your order from our affiliate marketing partners. Every click supports the channel, the page, and lets the world know that Detroit fans do it bigger and better. Villain Squad don't do knockoffs. We do official. We do Fanatics. Get yours. And connect with the villain. 82,000 strong on the Facebook page. Yeah, that's right. That's right, 82,000 strong and climbing fast, so help us storm the castle of 100,000 followers. And on YouTube, we're just trying to get our first 1,000. You can click that link right there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's right, the villain's everywhere. YouTube, X, TikTok, wherever you scroll, the villain rolls. So connect with me on all platforms and be part of the takeover, because it's faith, family, and then football in that order. We use football to create those memories. We use football to spend time with our family. We don't let football use us. So, gonna say hello to everybody that's up in the chat right here as I show my ugly mug for the first time. Right there. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Out there. Who do we got in here? Who do we got in here? Davey was first today. Whoa.
You like that?
That's right. Good morning, Davey. Good morning, Fred.
You like that?
Fred Peterson's in the house. Rick
like
C.
that?
in the house. Tyler.
You like that?
Thank you for being part of this. So, Brian Stover says, what did Morton say that got the Browns all fired up? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't anything that Morton said. Maybe it was just somebody saying that we had the best offense in the NFL. And good defenses take offense to that. It is what it is. I can go search that out, though. but is the
Know thy enemy.
It is the Know Thy Enemy segment as we are going to dive into this game and talk a little bit about the Browns. What are your biggest concerns? I mean, I think it's an obvious concern in this one. He's like, you don't want Myles Garrett and that defense to wreck our entire game. So I don't know. I'm gonna look through here and see if I can't find some stuff that Johnny Morton said that might trigger some Cleveland Brown fans. I mean, the Browns, this isn't a game that you want to take for granted. You know, look what happened to the Packers last week. This is the NFL. And when you can play defense, you can win. So, with that being said, let's take a look at this. Look at this team right here. It appears that the Lions' passing attack is doing what it did last year. You know, it took a minute to get the offensive line to gel. But after week one's disappointing performance, it seems as if the Lions' offense has turned it around a little bit. They're averaging 8 yards per play, which is 5th in the NFL. 120 passer rating, which is 2nd in the NFL. 81.7 QBR, which is 3rd in the NFL. .54 drop back success rate, which is 3rd in the NFL. And admittedly so, the thing that has helped out Goff the most is the impressive pass protection over the past 2 weeks. They haven't given up a sack in the last 2 games. The current PFF 3rd highest pass blocking rate, 70.7, as they rank 11th in the NFL. And that's even after that horrible week 1. When Goff isn't pressured, he's 3rd in the NFL in passer rating and 1st in completion percentage, which is expected. Goff's awesome when he has a clean pocket. And when pressure, those rankings drop to 10th and 11th. So the Browns' defense has been formidable the first 3 weeks, and it will present a huge challenge. They haven't given up more than 200 net passing yards in a single game. And look what they did to Jordan Love last week. 18 for 25, 183 yards, only 1 touchdown, and a horrible game-changing interception. So the Browns defense forces you to throw the ball quick. And I know some of the stats for the Browns a little bit when you're looking at their defense, it's been a little bit skewed because they played Lamar Jackson last week. And the offense put Lamar Jackson in some good positions, you know, for them to score 41 points in that game. So they allow 6.8 yards an average, 106 passer rating, and 46 drop back success rate, which is 18th in the NFL. So Myles Garrett is obviously a problem. Taylor Decker is going to have his hands full right there. I mean, that's where you just wish that you could just put Penei Sewell over there. But I got a feeling that he's going to be tacking over top of Decker all day long. They may do a lot of that doubling. So one of the big questions is, the Lions have one of the best rushing attacks in the NFL, if not the best rushing attack in the NFL. The Browns have the best rush defense in the NFL. So it is strength versus strength on this. Strength versus strength. You think the Lions are going to be able to run the ball? Because, it's all about the bigs. If they can move people out of the way. So Paul Jones says that Morton says that they can't stop our run game. And I think that's probably taken out of context a little bit. When it probably came with the caveat of the offensive line playing very well. As long as our guys are doing their job up front, they'll be able to run the football. And they did such a good job last week against that Baltimore defense. And it was just like, it was almost like poetry, just watching the offensive line like climb levels together. Like, that's elite offensive line work. It's next level offensive line work. Watching a double team peel off to where you let the one guy take over the one-on-one as you peel off and go in to the next level and find a linebacker. And I have one certain play in mind where, Tate Ratledge did such a good job at peeling off. So, that should fire him up. Rick C says that the Browns haven't faced a running attack like ours. Not sure of the exact quote, but that's basically what he said. They haven't faced a running attack like ours. It's the truth. Detroit ranks 7th in yards per carry at 5.0. 7th in rush EPA. 3rd in success rate. 8th in yards before contact and 11th in yards after contact. That means the Lions are, you're getting 3 yards before you even get contact. That's crazy. That's crazy. You need to average 4 yards a carry, right? That's right where you want to be. Moving those chains, average. And I think where the Lions really can get them is the fact that we have 2 running backs that are both equally good in their different ways. In the last week game, this might be another David Montgomery game. Or it could be a Gibbs game. It depends. Do you fight physical with physical? They're going to be very physical. The Browns attack with their defense. Some defenses try to stop you, but the Browns defense is an attacking defense. They're trying to force you to make your decisions very quickly. You ain't going to be sitting back there. They play press man on all the wide receivers. They don't give up that the real quick things. I'm reading through some of these comments right here. I hope they can't stop us. Good morning to everybody. Brock out there. Brock will be out there helping Decker. Yeah, Brock, right? They're going to have to, man. They're going to have to. I think it would be better if Garrett could just go up against Sewell all day. I mean, that's the one that you'd want to pay to see, but no, he'll probably be attacking right over there by Decker. But that means, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that we're going to be able to run on that right side. That's where our strength is. So if Garrett's going to be on the left side, I would think that we would be able to go with the strength of our offensive line and run to the right. And we do good pulls. You know, pulling Glasgow, pulling Mahogany, even to get some extra help on that side. I don't know. I just feel like we'll be able to run the football. It's hard for me to think that people can stop us from running the football. And I understand that Green Bay did it in week 1, but they didn't do it because they were so dominant. They did it because our guys were messing up and not getting communications in. Rookie mistakes, you know. It is what it is. But it's just as far as the man versus man, where you got two guys that are facing each other that both know what they're doing. I think that we open up run lanes, and we have elite running backs. I mean, being able to run on the Baltimore Ravens like that, you know, that gives you some hope. And then, like, defensively for the Lions, I mean, I think that we might even be able to do even more damage like that, because they base their whole game off of running, and they're not going to be able to run on the Lions. They're not going to be able to run on the Lions at all. They're going to be one-dimensional. And it really feels like the Lions' defense is starting to find itself a little bit. You know, even if you want to criticize Terrion Arnold, he was much better in the second half than he was in the first half. So, I mean, you can throw stats at me all day long, and they're even saying that they may cut back on a little bit of his snaps. Let Amik get in there. If Amik's playing better, they insist that it's not a demotion by giving Amik more snaps. More like Amik earned it more than they're taking it away from Terrion. But still, if that's where if you want to point out the weakness, I mean, outside of that one big run play that they gave up to Derrick Henry and a garbage time touchdown, the defense was outstanding against Baltimore. And obviously, no, you can't give up big plays. You can't. That's it. You know, the biggest weakness on the Lions yet is they haven't played a complete game on defense yet. I mean, even the offense, when you look at it, has left a little bit of meat on the bone. And it's out there for them, too. You know, outside, what I'm trying to say is, like, when you play your best game, what does that look like? We haven't seen that yet. And I still don't think we're going to see it for a few more weeks. You know, you get that good game where it's, you know, offense, defense, special teams, and it's all just smashing. We haven't had that game yet.
You like that?
No, I don't like that at all. I want to see them get their best game in. Because that's the thing, is like, that's got to be the floor, is that you play your best game. Because when you get into the playoffs. Yeah, playoffs. When you get into the playoffs, you can play your best game and still lose. So you got to play your best game. That's got to be the floor. That's got to be the floor. Your best game's got to be the floor, because sometimes your best game isn't even good enough. So I think that the Lions defense can take advantage. I mean, you know, Flacco's not going to be running any RPOs. You know, little quarterback option right there with Joe Flacco. Probably don't have to worry about that too much. So I think the Lions have a really good opportunity right here to keep them and make them one-dimensional. An interesting stat for the Cleveland Browns is on offense, they give up the most pressure in the NFL to pass rush. But they're also blitzed the least. So while only sending 4, the offensive line for the Browns gives up the most pressure. And I don't know if they're last. I have to look at that. I'm looking at it. But they do have a good running back in Quinshon Judkins. I don't know if you have him on your fantasy team. So that's their hope. But they don't have elite wide receivers. You know, they got Judy. But their offense is not very good. Like, in order to stay in this game, their defense has to hold us to a low amount of points to even have a chance, in my opinion. So I'm with Broski on this one. Broski thinks that the Lions should roll in this game. They should roll in this game. The 8.5 points that Vegas is giving them should tell you. I mean, I'm not saying that they can't get into that covering. I mean, I think the Browns could cover that. Considering with the defense being as good as it is, they're not used to seeing 8.5 points scored at all. So to give anybody 8.5 points against that Browns defense is a lot of points. But that's telling you something. That's telling you where all the money's getting bet. And, you know, some people are professional gamblers and they're really, really good at it. And they take everything into consideration. And that's where they put that money. And I'm not saying they don't ever, you know, cover the spread or, you know, and upsets do happen. I mean, the Packers, I don't know what they were. I don't know what the Vegas odds were for them to beat the Browns. But the Browns ain't sneaking up on the Lions. Thank you for going and finding that information. He said the Browns' run defense ain't seen a run game like ours. I mean, is that really trash talk? Is having confidence in your run game and your run unit? Use it as bulletin board material at all. Go ahead. You know what the really good part about having a good running game is? Like, if you're really, really good at running the ball, they know you're running the ball. There's nothing better than running the ball when it's like, hey, guess what? I'm going to run right here, okay? Stop me from running right here. And then they run right there, and there ain't anything they can do about it because our guys out physical them. That's the type of running game that we have. I'm going to run right here. And then they put everybody there to try to stop them from running right there, and you go there anyway. That's where the battle of will happens. And then to know that you have the play-action game all coupled on top of that, the Browns like to stick all of their linebackers and everybody up on the line of scrimmage, and they only use one safety. Like, if we get any kind of run game, their style's out the window because we have two very fast wide receivers, one that's 6'4" and the other one that's way fast in Jameson. If you only use one safety, the Lions are going to find a way to get pass protection and get a big touchdown and a long one. Because as good as their secondary is, you need more than one safety back there if you expect to cover J-Mo. You got to have, that was the key to any of them keeping J-Mo in check. They kept those safeties back. It's almost like there's that little pocket. That's why Goff's little, like, 15-yard right over the linebackers and under the safeties. That's J-Mo respect. When they got those big pockets, they're trying to defend the run, so they have their linebackers up. I believe that Gruden used to call it the turkey hole. Goff put it right there in the turkey hole. In front of the safety, over the linebackers, right in that turkey hole. Right? Well, that's what the respect of the running game does. You're going to need more than one high safety. I'm interested to see how the Browns play that. If they go right into the game and expect to be able to D up on us. Rick C says this is the big game for J-Mo, maybe a breakout game for Tesla. You see, I like that call.
You like that?
That's a great call, Rick. Because I think that, if they only use that one high safety, they're probably going to roll that coverage to J-Mo, which means that there may be opportunity for Tesla. You stick Tesla in that slot and let him run that streak. He'd get off the line of scrimmage. Lions or the Browns like to play a lot of press and get right up on the line of scrimmage and stop them. So, yeah, I definitely think this could be a big game for Tesla. The bad guy.
Say hello to my little friend.
24-14 Lions. That seems like a good score. I don't see where they're going to get 14. I think this is a good defensive game for us. I think we're going to hold them under 10 points. I don't see them being able to score on us. I mean, they got some pretty good tight ends, but we have good linebackers that cover well. I don't think that they took too kindly to having Mark Andrews put up the kind of numbers he did last week. And I think part of that was the garbage touchdown that they had on like a 3rd and 27. It's like you just a mental lapse have the game well in hand. But the bad guy says, Cleveland, please put Sanders in the fourth quarter so we can destroy him. Yeah, this might be a game. This is a defensive game for the Lions, man. And I know everybody's making it all about Myles Garrett versus our awesome offense, but I think that the story of this game is going to be told with the Lions defense versus this. Thank you, Dixie Norris, for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. And I'm talking about the YouTube channel, because I'm trying to grow this up. We're almost at 1,000, man. So if you're out there, hit that subscribe button. Go to the YouTube page and hit that subscribe button for me. I would really appreciate that. Here we are, Lions fans. I'm the UDFA of sports podcasting right here, the unwanted. I'm just a fan like you guys. And I think that some people can relate to that. Just being the fan. No hidden agendas. No, just on here talking football. No network breathing down my neck, telling me what to say. Oh, we got to make sure we get these talking points in. Nah, we come on here and we make up our talking points. We have themes. We talk about next week. I'm not saying that none of the other shows talk about next week's opponent or anything, but I think that I come from a different perspective of I'm one of you guys, man. Mark Orlando says, I overheard a Browns podcast calling Lions 24, Browns 3. That seems where my mindset is. I think this is setting up right here to be the most complete game by the Lions defense. I think Kelvin Shepard has a lot of pride as a defensive coordinator. And he knows the type of talent that's on this defense. And the capabilities of this Lions defense when it plays up to its full potential. Because they're starting to slide into that groove. I know that we had the Marcus Davenport injury, but I think that injury opened up that spot for Al-Quadin Muhammad, who is actually the guy that should be in there. Because I do believe we'll get Marcus Davenport back by the end of the season. And when he comes back, I don't think that he's going to have his starting job. Especially if the Lions want to utilize Marcus Davenport. It's obvious he can't handle a full workload. But it's also obvious that he's a really good player when he's out there. That he affects the game when he's out there. But he can't stay available. So when he comes back, a limited snap count, that might do Davenport some good. But right now, Al-Quadin Muhammad's playing in that spot, right? And then the rest of the defense is falling into line too. And kudos to the Baltimore Ravens and the teams that are understanding, they are going after Terrion Arnold. Because there's nowhere else to go. They're going where he's at. And the thing is you're making Terrion Arnold better by doing that. He's still a young player. And as you saw in the last game, it started out bad for Terrion Arnold, and then Terrion Arnold fixed it, and you didn't hear his name called in that bad way in the second half. So the Lions defense, to me, in the villain's opinion, is ready to take a nice big step. I mean, you think about the offenses that they faced in the first 3 weeks. You know, Green Bay's got a pretty decent offense when it's hitting. Baltimore's got a good offense. I mean, even the Bears have a good offense. The Browns ain't that. This is the softest offense that the Lions have faced. In an awesome opportunity for the Lions to get a good defensive output. Tyler says that Davenport's already out of his sling. Yeah, I'm one of the people that admittedly I wasn't excited when they re-signed Davenport, but I'm also not rooting against the guy. You know, a lot of people have that attitude towards him, and it is what it is. You know, you didn't pay anything for him. I don't call those like Brad Holmes misses or anything like that. You know, you're rooting for the guy. You know, you hate to see. I mean, the same things happen. The 1 year in Minnesota, 2 years here, just bad luck, injury. Maybe the body just isn't there. But they gave him one more chance. You know, the money lowers and lowers and lowers until now you're just, you know, you're only paying him, you know, the veteran, really close to the veteran minimum. And a lot of it has to do with how many games he plays. So he'll be on IR, so that's 4 weeks that Davenport will be off. But when he comes back, you know, limit his snaps. I mean, they put him out there, try to get him to play 40, 50 snaps. Don't have him play 40, 50 snaps. Have him play 20 snaps, 15 snaps. Muhammad's earned this spot. You know, and I know a lot of you might say, well, you know, they're triple teaming Aiden Hutchinson. Well, yeah, they are. So they need a guy over on the other side that when he gets an opportunity to rush one-on-one, maybe even against the tight end, that he's got to win that battle and get a sack. This is a selfless team. You know, you don't see Aiden, you know, complaining that 6 other people got a sack. Had 7 sacks in the last game. Aiden Hutchinson only had 1 of them. Joe Flacco is more of a statue than Jared Goff. You think Goff isn't mobile? Joe Flacco is going to be sitting back there. There's just going to be opportunity here, guys. He's going to try to get rid of the ball short. You want a bust-out game for Terrion Arnold? If they're playing that press coverage and we get that pressure quick and Flacco tries to get rid of the ball fast, that's a great opportunity for a man-on-man cornerback to jump a route because they know that they're going to have to get rid of the ball early. And you know that Joe Flacco ain't going to, like, spin out of it. You know, they did the carbon dating stuff right there. I heard that a rumor that Joe Flacco is 147 years old. 147 years old. That's what they'll be saying in the barbershop 30 years from now. Joe Flacco is 147 years old. He's the greatest quarterback ever. One time he went out there against the Lions defense, and he spun out of it. And he ran for the first down. Oh my God, I'm slow. My new subscriber on YouTube, Dixie Normus. That's Dixie. Normus. Oh. I am slow. That I just got that, and I'm just laughing inside of my head. Oh, that's fantastic. That would be is that the name of your fantasy football team too? Because that would be the name of my fantasy football team. I might steal that from you. Flacco the dinosaur. Flacco. Yeah, I think that's where the advantage is. Now, I think the offense versus the defense, I love it, man. I think that our offensive line's looking forward to going up against a really good challenge in there. And our offense, I don't think that we're going to score 40 here. I mean, but I don't know. The Browns' style may have them give away some big plays, because I think that our offensive line's pretty good. And oh, you guys go get me in trouble on here. But this is a game that the Lions should win. I don't think that there's anybody that would question that this is the game that they should win. We're not looking past the Browns, but this is a game that's on the list that you can't drop. The only reason that you would even want to talk about this game is if the Lions would lose this game. Other than that, it's going to be a blip on the radar. Boop, got that win. And you should get that win. Offensively, I really just think that we're going to be able to take advantage of a one high safety look. Now, they may change it. They may use two safeties. They may back up the safeties to have respect for our speed. And that's probably smart that Jim Schwartz would do that. I mean, you're going to leave your safety back there on an island. He real good. But we got a lot of speed on the perimeter, man. We got a lot of speed. The central scrutinizer says, protect the football. And we got this. And this is true, too. We could get to 40. I think the Lions could get to 40 if we get some pick sixes. I think this is the week for that, Rick. I'm calling it, man. I may even put some money down on it. I wonder what I can get as far as some odds on a pick six. I mean, I might throw $10 on that. The anytime pick six. I wonder what that pays. I'm gonna have that information. I'm gonna do some research for tomorrow's show with Robert. Robert, the Packer fan. We're gonna pick the games tomorrow versus the spread. So make sure that you pop on here tomorrow for the picks show as we pick all the games. But I'm gonna do some research, and I want to find that out. I'm gonna look for some some gems that I see that might stand out, that might be, worth throwing some odds money on. And I'm talking about money that you would be willing to just, take a shot and then you'll thank me later type of money. Because I'm not going to give you things that I think that are like high percentage to hit, but I think I'm going to find some things that have really, really, really good odds. Like plus 1,100 or something like that, to where you could put 10 and get 100. I'm going to look for some 10 to get 100 type of wager type of stuff. And I hope I don't get in trouble with my church right here. Don't bet more than you can handle. Please use it for your fantasy. Phil McCracken says Flacco needs protection on Sunday. He's going to need it, man. I'm feeling it. I wonder what that odds is on there. Because I think in this game, what's going to happen is the Lions are going to get pressure. Like, the Browns being the most pressured team with the, some of the least amount of blitzes. Like, they're the most pressured teams, and most teams don't blitz the Browns, and they still get the most pressure. Calvin Shepard's going to throw the pressure. Calvin Shepard's going to blitz and be aggressive in this game, I feel. So that clock may even be shorter with the way that I think Calvin Shepard is going to play this game and the way that he's going to call this game. So if that pressure comes even quicker, I expect Flacco to happy feet get rid of the ball at least a couple times in this game. And that's an opportunity. Pick six is right there. It might be DJ Reed. It might be DJ Reed. It might be Meek Robertson. Maybe Brian Branch doesn't drop the pick this time. Because he did get a pick six against Jordan Love that didn't count. It's like, damn. My mother had 3 boys and she named the middle one Richard. That tells you what she thinks of me. Who's that Richard in the middle? The odds on how many sacks. I'm going to find that out. I am going to do that for you guys. I'm going to go onto my DraftKings account and look for some obscure type of cool bets that you could do. That's always fun, because sometimes when you're looking at some of these point spreads and stuff, that there are things that stand out sometimes. And like too many points, or about an injury or something that's in there where the points are ridiculous. The Lions getting 8.5 points in this game. Anytime that you're getting more of a touchdown, they're predicting the blowout, right? You don't want to throw it in there, but it's even with the Browns' good defense, it's still 8.5. It leads me to believe, maybe they know something that we don't know. So this is the Lion Villain Report. The Know Thy Enemy segment.
Know thy enemy.
So I got a couple of questions for you to ask. A couple of questions I want to ask you before you go. You throw that in to the comments. Do you think that the Browns can hold the Lions' rush offense under 70 yards? I'm going to put the over-under at 70 yards. Over-under rush yards for the Lions at 70. And be careful there. Be careful there because we love our Lions. But I'll put that over under at 70 points. I will set the over under on Jared Goff interceptions. Do you think that Goff will throw more than one interception? I'll set the over under at 1.5. Mark, I think that you're misunderstanding me. I'm talking about the Browns defense holding the Lions rush offense. Tyler doesn't think so. They can't hold them under 70. Because if the Browns are going to win, they're going to have to get it done on the defensive side of the ball. Goff's going to have to turn the ball over more than once. Possible fumble. And they're going to have to hold our rushing game under 70 yards, in my opinion, if the Browns expect to win. And I don't expect those things. I expect our offense to play clean. Even if it means that we're not scoring a lot of points, I expect us to play clean because I think that the strength of this game comes on the defense. I'll set the over-under for Browns turnovers. That's Joe Flacco fumbling and us getting turnovers at 2. Over or under? Do you think the Lions get more than 2 turnovers in this game against the Browns? Let me know that in the comments. Over, under. Browns turnovers. I'm typing this in here for you guys. Browns. And I'm setting it at 2. I guess I'd have to put it at 2.5 to make it. It's like, I think they're going to get, they're going to be right there at that 2. So over or under, Browns turnovers, 2.5. Do you think that the Lions can get more than 2 turnovers? So Tyler's taking the under. 1 pick, 1 strip. See, that's why the 2.5. That's why that half. That half. Rick C's going over. We're getting 3. We're getting 3. There's a good one. What's the over-under of the crowd causing false starts? Now, I could see the Lions taking the crowd right out of the game. If the Lions can get some quick touchdowns and play with a lead and just really keep Cleveland out, because I mean, let's face it, they're not the best team in the world in this. They're sitting at 1-2. There's not a lot of hope. And if the Lions just started beating the crap out of this team, I think it would be easy to take that crowd out of the game. Getting up by a couple scores early, and then taking the foot off the pedal as far as like aggressiveness. Just keep them out of the game. I could see that happening. So I don't see false starts. I'm not feeling that. I think that will be under that. Under. I would say, let's say false starts 2. Over or under 2. We could set that same. We're going to set the same one. Over or under false starts. Right. There you go. And we'll do that one at 2.52. That's a good one. I like that. I like that.
You like that?
Over or under false starts. It's going to be under. I don't think they're going to get us at all. No false starts. Let's change it. Let's make it 1.5. We're going to do 1.5. Because everyone's just going to take the under. Between 1 and 2. Because they could get us on 1. They could get us on 1, but will they get it? Will they make it a trend? We'll make it. We're gonna set it at 1.5. I changed my mind. It's a home game? I thought we were in Cleveland. Yeah, that'll make me a dumbass. I thought we were going to Cleveland. Oh, never mind. Well, forget that. My bad. I thought we were in Cleveland for some reason. They're so damn close. They're so damn close. Hey, I admit it.
You've had enough of that shit.
I blew it. Man. Oops. I thought we were in Cleveland, guys. I'm sorry. So forget that one. So I guess do I have to put the over and under back up? Does that mean I got to go back up to 2.5? Because I think that we will get them on false starts. We're going back up to 2.5. My bad, guys. I'm all out of sorts today. That might be my cue to get out of here. Got to keep it together. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on to the show today. Being part of Know Thy Enemy.
Know thy enemy.
As the TGIF breaking down the Browns today. Episode brought to you by Fanatics. Hit that comment. You hit that comment, save up to 25% off your order from our affiliate marketing partners over there at fanatics.com. Every click supports the channel, the page, and lets the world know that Detroit fans do it bigger and better. Villain Squad don't do knockoffs. We do official. We do Fanatics. Get yours. It's faith, family, then football. In that order. Over the years, we've learned how to lose as Lions fans, but we lose with some dignity and grace. Don't take it out on your family. Have that love. Faith, family, and then football. In that order. Use football. Don't let football use you. Connect with me. I'm everywhere. Wherever you scroll, the villain rolls. Check it out. Especially on that YouTube page. We need all the help that we can get. Tomorrow morning show, we're going to do the pick games. We're going to pick all the games versus the spread. Thank you all for jumping onto the show. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you guys. Go Lions. We'll see you in the next one.